Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video. We're going to be seeing each AFL stadium and seeing how much seats the capacity of what the stadium can hold. So basically I'm pretty sure I've got around 16 AFL stadiums, so I'm obviously not going to include just the NAB Cup stadiums that maybe one or two NAB Cup AFL games have been played on. It's pretty much just the main ones. I also have a few stadiums that only have maybe one game played there every year. So let's get straight into it. So the stadiums I have are Adelaide Oval, Bloonstone Arena, the Gabba, Giant Stadium, GMHBA, Mars Stadium, Marvel Stadium, Metricon Stadium, Optus Stadium, Shanghai Stadium, a bit of a different one. I also got the SEG, Tio Traeger Park, University of Tasmania Oval, Canberra Oval, and last one, obviously the MCG, which is definitely the ground with the most seats. So I've saved that one till last. So we'll start off with Adelaide Oval. We'll go on to the Wikipedia. Obviously Wikipedia is not always correct and can be changed, but we're just going to go off Wikipedia, so it's not going to be obviously the exact amount of seats, it's just going to be the closest to when it was last updated. And here it says it was last updated on the 1st of August 2019, and the capacity is 55,317 seats, which is a fair bit. Obviously can hold a good game and can hold a pretty nice final. A lot of fans obviously can go here with 55,000 seats free, and there's obviously a lot of standing space as well. So it's only a capacity of 55,000 seats, and then if you also include standing capacity, who knows how much there will be, because obviously behind the goals on one of the ends, I'm not sure what end it is, but there is a massive patch of green grass where everyone can just sit down, stand, and I doubt that would be counted as any sort of capacity, because you can sit or stand there, whatever floats your boat. Rightio, next stadium we have is Bloonstone Arena, and this has a much smaller capacity than Adelaide Oval. Obviously it's I'm pretty sure it's not one of the newer ones, or it might be a bit new, I'm not 100% sure. I'll see when it opened. It opened in 1914, never mind, obviously not new. But it has a capacity of 19,500, last updated on 18th of March 2017, so not that long ago, around 3 years ago it was last updated. 19,500 seats, obviously not as much as Adelaide Oval, nowhere near as much as probably most of these grounds I have on this list will hold. Moving on to probably the biggest one yet. Actually, no, it's not the biggest one yet. It's the second biggest one. Surprisingly, we have the Gabba up next. This has a capacity of only 42,000. I say only 42,000, but that's in comparison of the Adelaide Oval. And let's double check Adelaide again. 55,000. The Gabba has 42,000, so 13 more thousand seats at Adelaide Oval. You would think the Gabba is a much bigger venue, just because it's held so many huge events in the past, that you would just think a lot more seats would be there than Adelaide Oval. Obviously Adelaide Oval is a massive stadium, but you'd just think the Gabba would have more seats, but obviously with this research, it's obviously not the case. Let me go on Wikipedia. 42,000 of a capacity, so I think that's the second biggest one so far, followed by Adelaide Oval. Next up we have Sydney Showground, or Giant Stadium as it would be in AFL. It has a capacity of 80,000 it says here, but this is a different Giant Stadium. This is never mind, this is something else. Anyway, the capacity is 24,000. I'm pretty sure I was looking at an 80,000 one somewhere in England. That plays soccer there, but anyway, Sydney Showground, the Giants' home ground, has a capacity of 24,000. Obviously, won't have as much seats as a lot of other AFL stadiums, because Giants are one of the newer teams. I don't know if this stadium was built just for GWS. I'm not actually 100% sure. I don't know if it was there before GWS came in as an AFL team, or if they built it just because they were starting up. I'm not 100% sure, but if it is just because they were starting up, that makes sense not having as much seats, because new team, not going to have a lot of fans if it's a new club. Next up we have once again a surprising result with the capacity. GMHBA with 36,000 seats. You can obviously know by the by the arguments the Cats fans have put up much better choice having a home final at the MCG. One, because it can hold way more bloody fans, and also a capacity of 36,000. That's less than the Gabba, and the Gabba was less than Adelaide Oval, so GMHBA is just the low of the low at the moment, apart from Bloonstone and Giant Stadium, but you can expect that from two small venues. A stadium like GMHBA, you would just think, I don't know, it would have a few more, but 36,000 nonetheless is still a huge amount. And thinking about it now, Caden McDonald has more people subscribed to his channel than GMHBA has seats, so yeah, interesting fact. Moving on, we have one that is a new introduction to the AFL, Mars Stadium. This is in Ballarat, obviously, and it has a capacity of 11,000, but 6 out of the 11,000 seats that are there are seated. So 6,000 seats, but it has a capacity of 11,000. So if we do the maths, obviously 6,000 seated, so it'll be about 5,000 capacity for standing, which is not bad at all. New stadium, and it looks very nice. I wouldn't mind to go there sometime in the future. Next up, we have Marvel Stadium. Getting into some of the bigger territories of stadiums, this is the second most seats we've been through in today's video so far. So the capacity is 53,359. Very big amount of seats in Marvel Stadium. Obviously it's a home ground to a lot of Victorian teams. Let me see if I can name them all off by heart. I doubt it, but we'll give it a crack. St Kilda, I mean Richmond and Collingwood I guess could be, and Carlton. I guess it's all their second home ground, just like North Melbourne and Hawks have their second home grounds in Tasmania. So I could say Carlton, Collingwood, Richmond, Bulldogs, St Kilda, Essendon. Marvel Stadium have a good amount of seats, and can hold a ripping final game as well with the atmosphere inside. Next up, we have Metricon Stadium. Once again, one of the not one of the newer grounds, but one of the newer AFL grounds. Capacity of 25,000. Which isn't that bad for a team like the Gold Coast Suns. Obviously, not many fans, but for a capacity of 25,000 for the Gold Coast Suns, not that bad at all. And we'll move straight on to Optus Stadium now. Optus Stadium have a capacity of 60,000, so that's the biggest we've been through so far. Wow, that is spectacular. 60,000, that is much more than I would expect. Optus Stadium, obviously, probably the newest, I think, in the lot so far. Newest being built. It was only built, I think, around 2016, 2017, and then opened in 2018, if I remember that correctly. But yeah, with 60,000 seats, you can hold anything there, really. There are a lot of sports, obviously, held at Optus Stadium, and probably for a bloody good reason as well, because 60,000 seats can hold a big event. And next up, we have a controversial AFL stadium, Shanghai Stadium, but it has a capacity of 80,000. Capacity of 56,000. Jeez, I've seen. Okay, don't listen to me. Once again, I've seen a fluke of the capacity. The capacity is 56,842 for Shanghai. I think there's been two AFL games been played here in the past, in Port Adelaide, Gold Coast. Next we have the SCG, a very well known ground for cricket and AFL and just a lot of sports in general. Capacity of 48,000. So think about it. Another interesting fact, the Sydney Cricket Ground holds about the exact same amount of subscribers as Caden McDonald. So bloody hell, that's a lot of subscribers you have there, Caden. Look at that, fill up the whole SCG with subscribers, and there you go, that's your total. And then moving on, we have Tio Stadium. We got Tio Stadium and Tio Traeger Park, but we'll start off with Tio Stadium. It has a capacity of 12,500, a small capacity, and a lot of this capacity is obviously standing area. I think there's one grandstand. Let me go into images because I don't really. Yeah, there's one big grandstand with some seats, and then basically you just stand for the rest of the ground. You just stand around the oval. 12,500. Not many games there played each year, but yeah, it can do its trick. Tio Traeger Park is up next. It has a capacity of 7,200, so lower than Tio Stadium. Traeger Park, once again, doesn't have many games played. I'm pretty sure There was a few played there last year, back in 2020. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 games played that I can remember. Moving on to University of Tasmania Stadium, the Hawks' second ground has a capacity of 21,000 and definitely can fit the amount of Hawks fans that are in Tasmania. Now on to Canberra Oval or Manuka Oval. Overall capacity is 16,000, but out of that 16,000, 13,550 of that 16,000 is seated, so you still got a fair bit of standing space as well as a lot of space to sit down. And moving on to the final stadium, obviously we have the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and a lot of people probably know the capacity of this, and I think I've known the exact capacity of this since I was in grade 3 or maybe even grade 2. A capacity of 100,024. Wow, you can do anything here you want, and anyone who's been to the MCG obviously knows how big this bloody thing is. Be around the same size as Optus Stadium, I would say. It just has a lot more room. Yeah, a lot more room. You can see with Optus Stadium, everything's kind of crowded together. I don't know if that's what other people think as well, but that's what I can see from Optus Stadium. Everything's just pushed in together. The MCG nicely spread out, and yeah, fits whatever you want there. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. More AFL content will be coming your way during the next few weeks, and I'll see you guys later.